In this video, I want to outline the impact that stress can have on your back pain and offer some advice on how you can utilize this knowledge to help to improve your symptoms. Hello and welcome to the Back Pain Guide. I'm Duncan, a former sufferer of debilitating back pain, now turned physiotherapist who focuses on the care and treatment of other people, perhaps like yourself, who also suffer from back pain. The advice I give is a mixture of my professional expertise and personal experience, and I focus on giving information that I wish I had known when I was suffering from back pain. Now, most people recognize that stress can have a negative impact on our health. However, in my experience working with patients, it takes a little bit of a deeper or more thorough understanding of the mechanisms through which stress impacts our health before they actually tend to take real positive steps to mitigate against that potential damage. I want to use this video to give you a better understanding of how stress can negatively influence back pain, in the hope that it will encourage you to take a few positive steps towards utilizing this knowledge to improve your symptoms and achieve better overall outcomes. So stress can have a significant impact on back pain through several mechanisms. So firstly, and quite obviously, muscular tension. Stress can of course increase muscular tension in the body, which can be one of the most significant contributors to back pain. A reduction in overall stress will likely lead to a reduction in muscular tension, which can significantly reduce pain symptoms of those suffering with back pain. Secondly, pain perception, and it's well documented that high levels of stress can make you more sensitized to pain. And it's likely this is because when you're stressed, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol, which can lower your pain threshold, making your back pain feel more intense. Thirdly, a byproduct of increased stress, reduced physical activity. And most people who experience increased stress tend to lower their physical activity levels. This can lead to deconditioning of the muscles that support your spine, making you more susceptible to back pain. Next, and really importantly, sleep disturbances. And most of us are well aware that increased stress is really good at disturbing our sleep patterns. And of course, poor sleep can exacerbate existing back pain or even be the catalyst for triggering new episodes of pain. Number 5, often one that's overlooked, is inflammation. And chronic stress has been linked to increased systemic inflammation in the body. The evidence is clear that inflammation can contribute to pain in various ways, and in my personal experience, it can be a huge contributor to people who have pain, particularly related to nerve irritation or that sciatic pain that often accompanies people who have back pain. Finally, and not to be overlooked, coping mechanisms. And some people often will deal with stress by doing things like overeating, smoking, consuming excess alcohol, all of which can worsen back pain. Although it's completely understandable why these coping mechanisms will be utilized when someone is suffering from high stress, in the long term, if used chronically, they will have a negative impact on back pain symptoms. So how do I deal with this as a sufferer of back pain? Well, much easier said than done, I understand, but if you do suffer from back pain, you will likely benefit massively from finding ways to reduce your overall stress. In my experience working with patients and using this information for myself, managing my own back pain, there are 3 pieces of low-hanging fruit that we can try and grasp for that can really help in managing back pain symptoms as related to stress. The first mechanism, which I feel is massively undervalued, is simply recognizing this relationship. And so if you are someone who suffers from back pain, particularly recurrent back pain, if you do have a flare-up of symptoms, see if it happens to be coinciding with a period of increased stress in your life. So for me, with my back pain, it was very much the case that I would have muscle spasms or increased flare-ups of pain when I was feeling particularly stressed. What was really useful for me in this context was that recognizing that relationship, the relationship between stress and my back pain symptoms, really helped me to ease some of the worrying or even catastrophizing thoughts that would go through my mind whenever I used to suffer from back pain. In recognizing the relationship between my symptoms and stress, I was able to identify the trigger of my back pain as something relatively mundane, the stress of modern life, which is fairly ubiquitous. This allows me to keep those worrying or catastrophizing thoughts out of my mind so I don't sort of freak out every time I have some sort of flare-up of pain. This has the impact of course, making the pain pass far more quickly, but more than that, it stops every flare-up or pain experience being such a big deal, making them far more manageable. If you do recognize stress as one of your triggers of pain, I invite you to consider utilizing a similar tactic so that you can help those incidences of back pain flare-ups to pass more quickly and also not catastrophize every incident of pain as some particularly massive event. Secondly, I would highly recommend engaging in some sort of active, ideally breath-based relaxation or meditation style practice. This can be anything like meditation, breathing exercises, gentle yoga and stretching. The modality is somewhat up to personal preference. Now, yes, we can de-stress by lying on the sofa and watching a film, that sort of thing, and of course, that is great. But for back pain, the best results tend to be seen with some sort of deliberate, engaged, active relaxation. For those of you who might be interested in exploring this as an option, you're of course welcome to begin with some of the guided meditations I have on this channel. Of course, these are just one option of many, but it might be a useful place for you to start. The third piece of low-hanging fruit is to just get moving. The spine loves movement and stress doesn't. So by getting up and moving, whether it's walking your dog, riding your bike, getting to the gym, swimming in the sea, whatever it is that doesn't upset your back pain, this will give you the double benefit of improving your spinal health and reducing your levels of stress. So if you are someone who suffers from back pain, who also recognizes a high level of stress in your life, I would highly encourage you to consider the relationship between stress and your back pain before trying, expensive ointments and creams, or certainly considering injections or surgery, or buying an expensive membership to your local Pilates studio, or whatever it is that people tend to run to when they suffer from back pain. Consider the relationship between stress and back pain and start to take some simple and manageable steps to managing your stress levels and see what impact that has on your symptoms. This type of approach has yielded surprisingly good results for people just like yourself. Why not give it a try? I hope you found that information useful. Remember, you have the power to take control and move towards a pain-free life. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Back Pain Guide for future videos and more valuable content. If you have any questions or perhaps suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. I'm here to guide and support you on your journey to recovery.